And welcome to The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers. We are glad you're here with us. And if you're interested in health, specifically women's health, this should be a show right up your alley.
Well, it really should. But first, let's say we are very pleased to be on Cox. We appreciate Dave Bialis, Randy Carson, and Clayton Bruner being so kind, as well as the TV crew, to welcome us to the station. We're pleased to be here. We really do like it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it'll probably be good for our health. Speaking of that, Integris 19th Annual Integris Women's Health Forum is coming up. Last year they had about 6,000 people in attendance, and this year we're going to be talking about this on our very first show from Cox.
Mary Ann Bauman will be our guest. That health fair coming up in Oklahoma City, September 10th through the 23rd. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Kent Myers, Mick Cornett, joined by Mary Ann Bauman. We'll see you coming up on The Verdict.
For one Oklahoma-based company, success didn't happen overnight. Initially, the days were long, 80-hour weeks common. As we grew, we wanted to share our success, and the ideals of corporate and civic responsibility found a welcome home. Today, we're the largest investor in the Sooner State and a source for exciting, new, high-quality jobs. We're Chesapeake Energy, committed to building a better Oklahoma.
All children deserve a life of hope and love, but sometimes they experience a life of pain, neglect, and abuse.
When that happens, each child deserves all the quality assistance and representation that can be offered in our legal system. For more information, call 23-CHILD.
Oklahoma Lawyers for Children, helping to bring hope and love back to the lives of abused children.
And welcome back to the set of The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers, and Kent's going to introduce today's guest.
We are very pleased to have once again Dr. Mary Ann Bauman join us as our guest on The Verdict. This is not her first appearance. She's been on several times, and last time she was on, she was talking to us about the Women's Health Forum, and that's what she's going to be talking about today. She obtained her MD degree from Wayne State University, is a medical director for women's issues and community relations at Integris Baptist Medical Center. She's on the board of Integris as well as Bank First. She's been both a state and a national TV personality in the past and currently. And we're really pleased she'd join us to talk about this important thing that's going on in our community. Dr. Bowman, welcome back.
Thank you. It's so good to be back with you again.
Why don't we start with the dates that this health forum is going to be taking place in Oklahoma City. I think it's September 10th through the 23rd.
Exactly. I can't believe it's our 19th year. We started with 2 days, and now we're at 2 weeks.
Well, let's just ask fundamentally, why have a women's health forum? Why did it get started? Why do we have one today?
Integris's mission is to improve the health in the communities we serve. And one of the ways we do that is education, and this is a huge education initiative that we do. Women make the healthcare decisions. When you educate a woman, you educate a family unit. We don't just do women's health for Women's Health Forum. We also have Men's Health University programs for men as well, because we need to have the information out both for the newest techniques for the things that we have, for lifestyle changes that people need to make, especially here in Oklahoma. We need to make those lifestyle changes, and so we try to encompass it all with this program.
Mary Ann, I've noticed the book that you have for us on the forum, and the introductory phrase is embracing milestones. What does that mean in relation to this forum?
Well, what it means is we're trying to hit different aspects of people's lives because milestones can be wonderful, milestones can be challenging. depending on where you are in your own life at the time. And so we have programs for women and couples who are thinking about, what if I want to have a child? What does this entail? We have programs for women who may be reaching the middle years. We have programs for older people and how you deal with some of those, the Purple Hat Society and the things that, the Red Hat Society, red and purple they wear, but it's the Red Hat Society for as you get a little bit older. So we try to get all of those things covered, embracing milestones, meeting those challenges, and being happy about it.
Are people doing better, specifically are they doing better about getting the checkups that they've been directed? I mean, there's no shortage of information out there.
There
but
really
there
isn't.
still is apparently an inability to get people to react.
Well, the thing is, my newest phrase is, insight is not enough. You can know all of the right things, but unless you change your behavior, it doesn't make any difference. And so, yes, I think both men and women are better at getting physical examinations done, their annual physicals. It used to be the only time a man came in was when either he had a problem or he said, my wife told me I needed to come in. Now I'm having more and more of my male patients coming in for routine physicals. So I think we're getting some of that message, but that's the easy thing to do, to come in and have the physical. The hard thing is to stay in and out with the dietary changes, with the exercise, those things that you need to do.
Well, this is a huge commitment on the part of Integris. 6,000 people approximately attended last year's session.
Yes.
I know you probably hope for more this year. And you go over a 2-week time span. Just how long in preparation do you have to start to get this show to work?
We actually start thinking about it right after we finish our September lecture series, and then we do the actual planning and booking our guests and talking to the doctors beginning in January, because it is a massive undertaking. We have sites on the south side, the north side, and in Yukon, so we're ringing the city so that we can get to all of the people and make it convenient. And we also have the celebrities coming in, so it is a massive undertaking to get all of that done. We have wonderful people in the corporate communications department at Integris who really do the planning. I get to be the face person and I contact the doctors, but they do that nuts and bolts to make sure it happens.
When they go on the website, the address we've been giving periodically throughout this segment, they'll be able to see exactly the names of the segments. Which ones are the most popular? Which is the largest room? Where do people just pile in?
Well, we have a number of different. Of course, we have our celebrities, and they're in large venues. We are at All Souls Episcopal Church, and we are doing some segments on research, the newest research kinds of things. We always get good attendance there because people want to know what is happening. Cardiovascular issues are always a big seller. People will want to come in and hear not only the latest advancements, the testing that can be done, the studies that can be done, but also what you need to do. For example, we have a session on hypertension and what you need to do to get your blood pressure under control. But we cover a myriad of specialists. We have one of our ear, nose, and throat physicians speaking about the newest in hearing aid kinds of things. We have a gastroenterologist talking about the virtual colonoscopies, the ones where you don't necessarily have to have the tube put up and what is going on. We have a segment on hepatitis C, which can be reaching epidemic proportions and is the major reason that we do liver transplants in this country. And so we just kind of cover the gamut for specialties and areas that people do want to hear. We try to hit the lifestyle, we try to hit some of the new things. We're doing a neat new session this year on, we call it Queen or King for a Day, and we're actually doing a session where we will demonstrate some of the new non-invasive cosmetic techniques. Microdermabrasion, collagen remodeling, Botox for those who are interested. So we're branching out because how you look and makes a difference in how you feel as well.
Recently had a national celebrity die of lung cancer, Peter Jennings, the
Yes.
ABC News correspondent. That put a new round of attention on smoking and smoking cessation. Are you seeing anything carry over from that, or is it just another in a long line of people who've died of that horrible disease?
I think, unfortunately, it's another in a long line. I think people think, oh my gosh, isn't that terrible? And we do have people quitting smoking. I'm very pleased. There have been people in my practice who have quit that I never thought would. We do have people quitting smoking, but you know, lung cancer would be a rare disease if it were not for smoking. 90%, 85 to 90% of lung cancers involve smoking. My real issue with the smoking are the young people. You know, if you noticed in the movies lately, again, it's very cool for the celebrity to have a cigarette. It drives me crazy. But that's what's happening, and they're seeing that. So we do have young people smoking and not quitting. That's where our real issue is.
Well, let me ask you this about the young people and smoking. I saw some numbers, it's been a while ago, that indicated that Oklahoma was not doing very well insofar as the rate of smokers at a very young age. If those numbers are accurate, why is Oklahoma doing so poorly in that regard?
I think in part that we don't like to put a lot of restraints. Now, we don't mind putting them on kids, but you know, when you put restraints on cigarettes for kids, you're also going to increase the price for adults, etc. And so we don't like putting a lot of restraints on. Also, many adult Oklahomans smoke. And so if children see their parents smoking, that gives permission. No matter how often you say, don't do this, that gives the children permission. And children of smokers are much more likely to smoke. I'm so glad we have that cigarette tax. I wish it were higher, because anything we can do to keep cigarettes out of the hands of children, adults as well, is a benefit.
Calendar of events for this. How do people find out more information?
We do have the telephone number 951-2277 where you can call in and register. IntegrisOK.com. You can do it 24 hours a day. The sessions are free unless it's a luncheon, and then it's $10 for the lunch. But this is just a wonderful free program for people to take part in.
Dr. Marianne Bowman is our guest today on The Verdict. One more segment talking about the Women's Health Forum, which is coming to Oklahoma City starting on September 10th. We'll be right back.
The Journal-Record is pleased to be a sponsor of The Verdict. The Journal-Record, since 1903, the best source of Oklahoma business news and legal information. American Express Tax and Business Services. We're accountants. We do taxes, business valuations, estate planning, and consulting. And we're right here in Oklahoma, working with the owners of small and medium-sized businesses. Steve Wilsey and Stuart Meyer have the resources and the experience. American Express Tax and Business Services. In Oklahoma City, the phone number is 405-843-5311.
Welcome back to the set of The Verdict. Mick Cornett and Kent Myers, and we are joined by Dr. Mary Ann Bauman. We're discussing the Women's Health Forum, which is coming back for its 19th year, sponsored by Integris, and it is starting on September 10th. Kent, where are we?
Well, we know we're going to have a lot of guests coming in, and I don't want to talk about them right now. I want to talk about you.
Alrighty.
I want to know, and I know our guests are going to want to know, where and when is Mary Ann Bowman going to be appearing and presenting topics during this 2-week period?
Yes, I have a busy time with this. I'm starting on the 12th. I usually have the kickoff luncheon when we start the daytime programs, and I will be talking about gender differences in heart disease. We are very excited about announcing a new initiative in women's health, and we're going to do it during my session. I'm also going to be involved in the cosmetics seminar that we're doing. I've really been enjoying doing some of the non-invasive cosmetic types of things for my patients that helps their skin look better, helps with lines. We'll be doing that on Friday the 16th. We have a wonderful program in the evening called No Boys Allowed, and this is at Nona's downtown. A great site to have it. And I'll be speaking about how you decide your dreams and make them come true. We will also have Ava Scaramucci, owner and president of Nona's, who will be talking about how she has done and how she has made her dreams come true. And then we have a counselor who is going to talk about just how you get started on making those dreams come true. So that's going to be a fun session that we're doing.
Well, let's jump in there on the cardiovascular element. What are the symptoms that women should look out for?
Well, women's symptoms are often a little different than men. It's a red flag for me when a woman says, I just can't seem to do as much and I get tired. I used to be able to walk a mile. Now after 6 blocks, I'm feeling a little bit tired. Not necessarily short of breath, but tired. That is one of the symptoms that we see often more commonly than we see it in men. Men more often get a pressure sensation, may radiate to the arm, to the jaw. Women can get that too and should not ignore it. But they can also have vaguer symptoms. They can have something that they feel like heartburn. Not always exactly the classic symptoms, and that's why women have to be aware.
Well, you mentioned celebrities were going to come in, and I'd like for you to tell us a little bit about who's coming, what they're going to be doing, and where and when this is going to happen.
I am very excited about our celebrities this year. And anybody who is a fan of Desperate Housewives, up for lots of Emmys, we have Carlos. Otherwise, his real name is Ricardo Chavera, and he is coming in on Saturday the 10th. He will be at the Civic Center. This is a free program. It's rather exciting. He has decided to use his celebrity from this wonderfully successful program to talk about breast cancer. His mother died when he was young of breast cancer, and so he has made this his platform and is traveling around the country to make sure that women are aware that this can happen to them and what they need to do for screening. We also have Dr. Drew Pinsky coming in. Now, he was on MTV, had a program for years called Loveline, where he does relationship type questions. And this is neat because what he does is he has an interactive session with the audience about relationships. And he's doing that, and that will be at Rose State. And that's on Thursday evening. I think that's the 15th. And so we're excited about those celebrities coming in. We also have a Hispanic program that will be done in Spanish, so that those in our listening audience who would prefer to hear the presentation in Spanish, we want to appeal to all aspects of our citywide population.
And
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I assume you're responding to needs. I mean, the program this year is obviously much different from the first year, and I assume it's been an evolution. But what trends do you see, and then do you try to get your group together, your committee, and say, well, we need to respond to this. What do we need to do?
When we first started, people were interested mainly in the latest bells and whistles, procedures that could be done. Then we went into a period of time where there was a great deal of interest in how do I do it myself, the self-help kinds of things. And now I think we're kind of trending back towards the middle. We have a lot of interest in what are the procedures, what are the new non-invasive procedures that can be done to diagnose and treat. But we also have these lifestyle issues because they're right in front of us, because we do see that many of these diseases we're discussing have their roots in how you are handling the lifestyle with exercise, smoking, and how you eat.
Let me change the focus just a little bit. We all three have children.
Yes.
You've got a program about raising children in a diverse society.
Yes.
What about that?
And this is something that we need to recognize. We have grandparents raising their children. We have lots of parents who are separated or divorced, and how do you handle these situations? We have stressors on children in school and how they're going to relate and be involved with the relationships in their lives. So all of these figure in this whole idea about milestones.
One more reminder that it's called the Women's Health Forum, but men are welcome. Because the first thing a guy's going to say is, well, it's not for me, I'm not going.
Oh, absolutely, men are welcome. Women's Health Forum is our umbrella, but I will tell you that we have many, many, many men who come to every segment because many of these diseases affect them just as much, and so we need to follow both.
You've got the Center for Mind, Body, and Spirit at Integris, named after my former partner, Jim Hall.
Yes.
I know there's a presentation related to that at the program. Tell us about that.
Yes, Dr. Murali Krishna, who's well known around town, is going to be talking about how you have a happy life. He is a psychiatrist, and so he is very much into this emotional mind-body connection. He's up on all of the literature and the research, has made this really a focus for himself, and he is just wonderful in laying it out with the research so that you can understand it.
Those dates again?
September 10th through the 23rd.
And if people want to, is this something they have to go online and fill out forms and give out information?
It's easy to register at integrisok.com 24 hours a day. The only things that are not free are the luncheons, and then we do have a $10 charge for that. You can also call the health line, 951-2277, and they will register. If you don't like to handle the computer, you can do it. A live person will help you do that, or you can do it by pushing the buttons.
How did you get 6,000 people through the line? It just seems amazing to draw that many people out on their own.
It is absolutely amazing, and I'm surprised every year. It tells us how valuable this is, because we'll have people in the middle of the afternoon, 40, 50, 60 people coming for these seminars. I've actually had people tell me they schedule their vacation time around Women's Health Forum so they can hit session after session, and that's why we do it around the city, so that it's convenient for anyone.
I know that you're going to have a 20th probably, but in between the 19th and the 20th, are there other major programs that Integris is going to be involved in?
Absolutely. Actually, the No Boys Allowed is so popular that we sometimes do a second one of those, an encore performance, because people love it. I have been doing for years the On Your Own program, which is a program where we do high school seniors and teach them what it's like medically to be on their own, to help to put them on the right track. We have our Health Essentials program, and this is an ongoing series of seminars every month. There's a record of them, and they can come every month and see free seminars by different specialists. Education for Integris is ongoing. It never stops.
We got just a few seconds here. What one message would you like to leave our audience with us today?
I think the message is come and learn, but insight is not enough. Change behavior.
Any idea on how you can change behavior?
I think it takes really working on the habit aspect of it and being consistent and putting those exercise things in your calendar just like your regular appointments.
Dr. Mary Ann Bauman speaking on women's health issues. The Women's Forum is coming to Oklahoma City September 10th through the 23rd. You can go online, you can give them a call and get more information. Dr. Bauman, we appreciate all you're doing for health in Oklahoma, and especially for being a part of the Women's Health Forum. And thanks for coming on The Verdict.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed it.
Come back.
I will.
Kent and I'll be back with a final word after this.
That land next door was a mess. Take more than a lawnmower to revive that land. I heard the oil and natural gas people was cleaning up old oil sites, and it wouldn't cost us a plug nickel. Oh yes, sir, it was quite a revival. The whole church showed up, want to make a playground for the kids. It sure is a blessing.
Bringing out the best in each student. That is the simple goal and tradition of Heritage Hall. The focus on the individual shapes the educational experience at Heritage Hall. Each student benefits from small classes, able, dedicated teachers, a solid academic curriculum, and exceptional co-curricular programs of athletics, arts, community service, and other activities, parental involvement, personalized counseling, and the development of responsibility, integrity, and love of learning. If you want education taught with pride, then you want Heritage Hall.
Welcome back to the set of The Verdict. Mick Cornett and Kent Myers. As always, Dr. Mary Ann Bauman was our guest on today's show, and she discussed the Women's Health Forum, which is coming to Oklahoma City starting on September 10th. Let's take a look at some information, because most likely people will want to go online or give them a call to find out some more information. But it's the Integris 19th Annual Women's Health Forum, September 10th through the 23rd in Oklahoma City. And for more information, you can call that number on the screen, and the website address at the bottom is www.integris-health.com. Well, Mary Ann Bowman is a wonderful guest.
Very articulate, very knowledgeable, been leading this community in health issues for a number of years, and we're very fortunate to have her in the community and, of course, on this show. Thanks also to Stanley Hupfeld, the Chief Executive Officer of Integris, and to Quinn Tran, the Media Relations Director for Integris, for making this program possible, the Women's Health Forum, and we wish them good luck on that. We are going to have, Mick, a very different show next week. We're going to be lucky enough to entice the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Oklahoma, Mary Fallin, to come back for another visit. This is an exciting time in Oklahoma from a political standpoint, and she's going to give us her insights on the legislative action this past session, what she expects in the future, in next session, and we may even ask her a few questions about what's in store for Mary Fallin.
Look forward to having the Lieutenant Governor on next week. Also, let me give you the website address for The Verdict. If you want to go on and give us an idea for a show that you'd like to see right here on The Verdict, you can do so, and you can get more information on the two of us. What you'll do that, I don't know. We'll see you next week on The Verdict.